Hello, and welcome to the second part of What If Bridgette stayed loyal to Geoff in Total Drama World Tour. If you didn't see the first part of this, then I recommend you go and see that first, because you're not going to have any idea of what's going on here. If you came from part 1, then hi, sorry about the wait for this video. This is the rest of the season just to catch you up, because I know it's been a while. Yeah, okay. So this is our merge cast, and as you can see we have Sierra because she came back from the last episode, the last aftermath actually, and yeah, we also don't have 8 people like the original, but we will get into that later. Okay, the episode starts with Chris throwing all the competitors into the water in paddling boats, and then originally Sierra saved everyone from falling down the waterfall, but she's not here yet. Chris hasn't introduced her yet. So yeah, they would die. They're all gonna die. But for the sake of the show, they live. Then Chris introduces Sierra, and she returns, and then she sings a little song about being mad at Cody for voting her out because Blanley sung a song originally when she came in. And then Chris announces the merge. Yeah, at this point they were still in their teams, but I just removed their teams, and yeah, they're in the merge. Then the challenge actually starts, and the guys are forced into a box. Let me just get them all here. Yeah, they're all forced into a box, and they have to wait for a wife to pick them out. Sierra originally went first and got Alejandro, but she refused until she got Cody, and even though she is still mad at Cody, and she wasn't mad at Cody originally, she is still, like, crazy in love with him, and forcefully takes him like the original, so they are a couple. Okay. And for the rest of the girls, I had to spin a wheel to decide who got who. So Gwen got DJ, Bridgette got Alejandro, that's gonna make Geoff mad, and Lindsay gets a bear. Yeah, so I have an uneven number of people, so I had to give one of the girls a bear, and it was Lindsay, and I know that works out pretty well. Okay. Second part of the challenge, the grooms had to guide the brides to their dresses. DJ is able to successfully guide Gwen to her dress. Alejandro successfully guides Bridgette to her dress. And then Sierra somehow knows where the dress is, like in the original, so that happens. But there's no way Lindsay could get her dress. But seeing a bear carry Lindsay across the tightrope would be funny, so I'm going to say somehow Lindsay gets her dress and makes it to the tightrope, but her and the bear fall pretty much immediately. So if you want to say that she doesn't even get her dress, then that's fine, because she doesn't win here anyway. Gwen refuses to wear the dress completely because she just doesn't want to be seen wearing a wedding dress, but then Chris tells her that she has to wear the dress, otherwise she'll be auto-eliminated, so obviously she does, because she still wants to win. Cody tries talking and apologizing to Sierra because she's obviously really mad at him, but she ignores him. And then originally Sierra carried Cody because, you know, she wanted to protect him and stuff, but now I think she'd want Cody to be carrying her because, you know, it's like more romantic and stuff, and like he'll be able to like make it up to her and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, halfway down the rope, they get into a big fight about like how like Sierra's really mad at him for voting her off and stuff like that. And then Cody not wanting Sierra to murder him after they fall, because yeah, they fall. He decides he's going to take her on a date like the one in Paris. And this whole episode, that's what Cody and Sierra are doing. So they fall. Okay. Okay. Alejandro once again tries flirting with Bridgette. Let me just get them over here. So he could see like if he's able to like control and manipulate her onto his side, but she once again rejects him and just gets mad at him for once again trying to flirt with her because, you know, she has a boyfriend. Originally Alejandro fell on purpose to not appear too big a threat, and he knew he had like all the votes to back him up, because, you know, he has allies and stuff. But now he doesn't really have many allies, and he kind of needs immunity. And I don't really see DJ or Gwen falling, but I think Alejandro and Bridgette could probably get across first and win immunity and first class, so they have immunity for this vote. Okay. Originally, Alejandro targeted Owen because he was very popular, and now dangerous people are popular because they're in the merge. And the only real popular people left, other than Bridgette, but she has immunity, are DJ and Lindsay. And Alejandro knows that he can easily convince DJ and Lindsay to vote with him way easier than, like, Gwen. And Alejandro also has Sierra's vote. Because in her mind, Cody and her just got married because, he said he needs to go to the bathroom, and he said I do, so now Sierra thinks they're married. Yeah. And then Alejandro was able to, like, say, oh, I saw you guys get married, so that, like, Sierra is, like, on his side. So, yeah. And I don't see why Lindsay or DJ wouldn't vote for Gwen with Alejandro, because even though Alejandro does want to get these even though he does want to get these jury votes out, he wants to target Gwen because he knows he can convince these two to vote with him. So I don't really see why DJ or Lindsay would say no to voting for Gwen with Alejandro. Because really Alejandro has been nothing but nice to them. DJ does feel a little bit bad because, like, he's been talking and why did I pick you up? He's been talking and bonding with Gwen all day because, like, they were a couple in the challenge. But I think Alejandro is probably able to, like, manipulate him and, like, comfort him into actually voting with Gwen, or voting Gwen with him. So Alejandro, Sierra, DJ, and Lindsay are all voting for Gwen, and then Gwen, Cody, and Bridgette, those three are probably voting for, I don't know, actually, I guess Sierra, because Cody doesn't like her because Alejandro has immunity, and yeah, they're both close with these guys, so yeah, I guess Sierra. But it doesn't really matter because Gwen has been eliminated 4-3. Bridgette and Cody just, say goodbye to her, thank her for her help and stuff. Bridgette promises to take Alejandro down for her, while Cody tries kissing her, but Gwen just jumps out of the plane before he can. Okay. Moving on. Okay. So, Alejandro knows he wants to target Bridgette next, but it wouldn't hurt trying to make an alliance with her so that, he can, like, make sure he's, safe. So while they're in first class together for winning the last challenge, Alejandro proposes an alliance to her, and then Bridgette throws him into the wedding cake. Yeah, they're gifted a wedding cake. Bridgette throws him in there because she knows what he's up to and she doesn't want any part in it. Sierra's acting her usual creepy self around Cody because she thinks they're married. And yeah, Sierra has pretty much just dropped the whole being mad at Cody because she did in the original very quickly, so there's no reason for her not to now. But Cody's too busy mourning over Gwen, though, so yeah, this makes her even more mad. Kristen starts the challenge, and everyone rushes towards the vehicles. Sorry, I just had to flip my notes. Okay. So Alejandro originally got the skateboard, and he originally gave away the bike, like he had the choice of skateboard or bike, and he originally gave away the bike to Duncan to, like, make their alliance a little bit stronger. And now he does this to Lindsay, because we know that he's really good with the skateboard, so he doesn't really need the bike, and, as we all know, Lindsay is extremely talented on the bike from Ireland, so yeah, this leaves Alejandro with the skateboard like the original. Sierra gets the pogo stick for herself, and the donkey for Cody, like the original, and then this leaves DJ and Bridgette, and they have the options of a push. What? I don't know why I said push. So they either have the options of the carriage, the tiny wooden shoes, and I think there was, like, another bike. Yeah, I don't know. I think they were both bikes. I don't know. Maybe one of them has a fancy name. I'm just gonna call them both bikes. And DJ is, like, a really nice guy, so he allows Bridgette to have the bike. So that leaves him with either the option of to, like, push his carriage all the way to the finish line, or walk in the tiny wooden shoes. And he probably picks the shoes, as he doesn't fancy pushing a carriage across China. And we know that he's very, like, I don't know what the word is, delicate? Like, no, delicate is definitely not the right word. I don't know, he's very, like, graceful. I think that's the right word. So he chooses the shoes. Okay, Alejandro and Lindsay, let me just get them here, are in the front like Alejandro and Duncan were originally, and the only difference is Lindsay doesn't hit any landmines like Duncan, as she is extremely gifted on the bike, as we said earlier. I imagine Bridgette being quite good on the bike, as it kind of transfers somewhat over to surfing, like, and we know, like, she's very good at surfing, so she wouldn't be far behind these two. Cody accidentally knocks Sierra off the bridge like the original, because of the donkey kick, and then she ends up in that weird lady's house, and then she gets the love tea, and yeah. Bridgette, Lindsay, and Alejandro all cross the finish line pretty quickly, and then while Cody and Sierra then cross the finish line a little bit soon after. But I can't imagine DJ being able to run as fast as Heather did originally, so Cody, Bridgette, Sierra, Lindsay, and Alejandro all pass on to the next round, which is the food eating. And originally Alejandro cheated with Courtney because he couldn't eat the gross food. So instead he'd probably use Sierra, because Sierra was pretty good at this challenge in the original. And it's kind of like a way to blackmail her, because, you know, he, like, says something like, oh, if you don't help me eat this food, I'll convince everyone that your marriage to Cody is fake, and she'd freak out. So she decides to help him, but she's planning on beating him up later anyway. Okay. So then the worst Total Drama World Tour song actually starts playing, and the first round starts. Cody refuses to eat the donkey meat because he thinks that it's AS's donkey. I'll just move DJ over there, by the way. So he's eliminated, and Bridgette doesn't eat it because she's a vegetarian. So this leaves these three in the game. Okay, the next round was the mealworms. Lindsay loses this round because we know from action that she has a very weak stomach, so this leaves Alejandro and Sierra. The next round was the starfish on a skewer, and Alejandro was able to convince Sierra to let him get the win, and without Heather, no one calls him out for cheating and, like, constantly, like, bending down and stuff, so Alejandro wins immunity. Okay. Bridgette, DJ, and Lindsay agree to vote off Cody because they feel bad for eliminating Sierra, like, immediately when she just went back, and yeah. Meanwhile, Alejandro talks to Cody and Sierra and tries convincing them to vote off Bridgette, and they both agree, but Cody, he can't handle Sierra. She's been going crazy, especially with this love tea, and there's really nothing Alejandro can do here. I mean, he could try convincing DJ and Lindsay to flip, but they're both really loyal, and yeah, I don't think he could, especially because I think that, like, maybe he could convince Lindsay to flip, but I think DJ and Bridgette would probably be hanging out with Lindsay a lot to, like, make sure Alejandro can't, like, get in her head. So Cody is eliminated 3-2-1. Sierra is screaming, crying, throwing up, but she can't really do anything. So before Cody leaves, she asks if the tea worked and tries kissing him, but he's confused, so Sierra throws the teapot out of the plane. Okay, moving on. Okay, so I also forgot that Alejandro now has the choice to bring someone to first class, and he chooses Sierra, so that he can, like, you know, empathize towards her and, like, make sure she's loyal to him, instead of letting Bridgette, like, get her hands on her, because he has seen all evening that these two have been loyal to Bridgette, so now he wants to, like, make sure Sierra's fully on his side before converting these two against Bridgette. Okay. So Alejandro starts off the episode by doing what he does best, manipulating Sierra to forever be loyal to him by pretending to be empathetic. Chris then brings the cast to Tanzania. I'm so sorry. I definitely pronounced that wrong. Anyway, then the challenge starts. The first part of the challenge was grabbing the plums without being hit by the football, And Sierra does the same as the original, however she actually gets hit now that she doesn't have Cody as a shield. And I wondered if Alejandro would still hit Sierra now that they're allies, but I think that he probably does, because he himself wants to win the immunity. So, yeah. Also, Sierra wouldn't be able to like see him because he kicked her from the back, like she's facing like that way, and then she's facing this way. She's like running across, and then he kicked her from the back, so she can't see who's kicking him. So she isn't gonna be like, "What? Why did you kick me, idiot?" Anyway, yeah. Alejandro is able to deflect all the balls like the original, and he grabs a handful of plums. And I could see Bridgette and DJ doing as well as Heather did originally. They get hit a few times, but grab quite a lot of plums. Lindsay is confused and doesn't know what to do, and gets hit like a billion times she basically just turns into Duncan this episode, a punching bag. The second challenge was breaking the fruit with your plums. Alejandro and Sierra didn't do very good originally, but I can't really see Lindsay, Bridgette, or DJ doing too well either, as they're all kind of like klutzy and tend to mess up a lot. So I think Alejandro probably gets the advantage here, because I think after they'd all be pretty bad, but after a while he'd actually be able to get it. Okay. Then, so the rest of the cast are given 10 seconds to break their gourds, and I think Bridgette and DJ, Bridgette and DJ are able to break their gourds, but Lindsay and Sierra fail. And originally Blanley revealed that Ezekiel was hiding in the plane, but now Blanley hasn't been introduced onto the show, so the cast have to hunt something else, like a boar or a lion or something, I don't know. Alejandro gets to use 6 tranquilizers because he hit his gourd first. DJ and Bridgette get 3 each because they actually hit their gourds, and then Sierra and Lindsay get none, and they get like a slingshot and like some like goggles or something, I don't know. It's weird. Alejandro decides to team up with Sierra to just fully make sure that she's loyal and stuff. Just there. And since Sierra has basically nothing to like capture the boar / lion or whatever you want to say it is, she kind of has to agree here because she really has nothing to do. Like, she can't do anything. So then Alejandro kidnaps Lindsay and kind of just forces her to join them, because Alejandro thinks that if he can convince Lindsay to join his alliance, then he can finally eliminate Bridgette once and for all, because Bridgette is really the only threat he has still left in the game, because not only is she likable, but she's also a massive physical threat. So Alejandro is pretending to be very nice and even flirts a little bit with Lindsay during the challenge. Yeah. And Tyler got eliminated a while ago, so she's probably forgotten about him by now. Okay. Alejandro, Sierra, and Lindsay fall into the quicksand like the original, but Alejandro is able to use the lion or boar or whatever you want to call it to help them out, because he did that originally. Which is enough to convince Lindsay to ally with him, because, he just saved her from quicksand. Then DJ and Bridgette find each other while trying to hunt the bear, and they discover the animal thing's tracks, and then they follow them, and then they attack these 3, because that's what happened originally, so it would still happen now. And everyone ends up tranquilized. And then they sing their wake up song, and they all wake up. DJ and Bridgette ask Lindsay why she's working with Alejandro, and Alejandro tells them that such beauty shall not work with a surfer girl and a mama's boy. Lindsay's then kind of forced to choose a side to work on, and she debates for a few seconds before choosing Alejandro and Sierra. Bridgette and DJ are completely shocked, and Lindsay tries apologizing, but Alejandro takes her and runs off. While Lindsay is talking to Sierra about feeling bad for betraying DJ and Bridgette, Alejandro trips her, and she falls into the bloodberries that Alejandro pushed Duncan into originally. This then attracts the animal that they're trying to hunt, and Alejandro pushes Sierra and Lindsay at the animal in order to distract it before shooting tranquilizers at it. And then Sierra and Lindsay are knocked out, like the animal, but Alejandro wins immunity. Then for the rest of the evening, Alejandro bosses Sierra and Lindsay around for the whatever amount of time it is to come up to the vote. And when it comes time for the vote, Lindsay decides that she's had enough. So she makes a speech right before Chris announces the eliminated player, saying that she might not be the smartest or most skilled total drama contestant, but she's grown from Ireland and isn't about to be another Heather slave. So she quits. Everyone is shocked, but Lindsay tells DJ and Bridgette that it was wrong for her to betray them and team up with Alejandro. So she wonders if they'll ever forgive her. Bridgette and DJ exchange a look and then pull Lindsay in for a hug. Lindsay then says a final goodbye and jumps out of the plane, banging her head on it. Alejandro then gets to pick someone to bring to first class, and he chooses DJ. Because he basically has Sierra in the palm of his hand, so now he needs to try and work on either getting DJ to like him or getting DJ to dislike Bridgette. Okay, moving on. So, while DJ and Alejandro are in first class, Bridgette tries bonding with Sierra, but Sierra just talks about her problems with Cody all night, just saying stuff like, oh, how can I go on with him being eliminated? I'm sorry about that. Meanwhile, Alejandro tries convincing DJ to flip on Bridgette. However, DJ, he's tempted by Alejandro's offers, but he stays loyal. So Alejandro decides to play dirty. While DJ is asleep, Alejandro photoshops a picture of Bridgette and Duncan snuggling together and shows it to DJ. Now, you might be thinking, why would DJ care? But DJ is a really close friend of Geoff's. And Duncan was previously voted off for cheating on Courtney, so DJ would be appalled and disgusted to see Bridgette cheating on Geoff with Duncan. The plan then crashes in Rapa Nui, and then the challenge is introduced. The final four must find 3 eggs in the color of their headpiece and then get back to the top of the mountain where the second part of the challenge will start. Sierra finds one of Alejandro's eggs, like the original, and she hesitates to give it to him, but eventually she cracks, and she does. Did you see what I did there? Cracks, like an egg. Okay. Anyway. Sierra then weaves a basket like in the original and makes one for Alejandro too, because, they're allies and stuff. Bridgette is quite athletic, and DJ is also quite tall, so I think that they get their eggs quite quickly too. Everyone is off to a pretty even start. Bridgette is a little bit confused on why DJ is ignoring her, but she brushes it off as, she thinks that maybe he's just focusing on the game. The final 4 then get split into 2 groups. Bridgette and Sierra, and DJ and Alejandro. So when Sierra's egg hatches, the baby chick sees Bridgette first, and this is important for later. DJ and Alejandro have to go back to get more eggs after their eggs are broken by Chris, and then they get chased by the Condor and they lead it through the cave. Then everyone rushes out of the cave, with Alejandro getting the advantage of the helmet because he was the first one out there. Okay, and then the second part of the challenge starts. The final 4 have to climb up to the Condor nest to give back the eggs in order of the first to last person who got out of the cave. Alejandro goes first because he got out of the cave first, then DJ got out of the cave, then Sierra got out of the cave, and then Bridgette got out of the cave last. And then the challenge starts, and they have to sing the Condor song. Alejandro goes first, but is knocked off and his eggs break, so he can't compete again. Then DJ goes, and everything is going so well, but then he remembers his animal curse and how he hasn't really interacted with an animal in a while, and he starts stressing, and because of this, he is knocked down. Bridgette tries helping him up, but he brushes her off. and this confuses Bridgette again. Sierra then goes, but her bird flies onto Bridgette's head, and Bridgette then wins immunity for, Bridgette basically replaces Heather here, where Sierra, like, climbs up, but then her bird flies down to Bridgette, and, yeah, Bridgette just wins immunity because she has the bird on her head, and then the Condor takes the bird and flies away. And so Bridgette wins immunity in first class. Now on to the vote. DJ and Alejandro vote for Sierra because, they can't vote for Bridgette, and they've bonded so much that they want to get Sierra out. Sierra votes for DJ, and Bridgette votes for Alejandro. So Sierra is eliminated, but it's a reward challenge. And then Bridgette gets to choose someone to bring to first class, and she obviously chooses DJ, which really annoys him. Okay, moving on. Okay, Bridgette tries talking to DJ multiple times, but he just brushes her off every time, and Bridgette finally confronts him, and he yells at her. Sorry, my voice, help. Okay, he yells at her that he isn't going to support or work with cheaters. Bridgette is really confused, but assumes Alejandro had something to do with it because, he's a villain. Okay. So then, during the challenge, Bridgette confronts Alejandro about messing with DJ, but Alejandro just brushes her off. Okay, the first part of the challenge was building and voting for the best dinosaurs. Alejandro and Sierra build what they did in canon, and I don't see DJ being very good at this. So he builds a small, friendly dinosaur because I can see him being very scared of dinosaurs. And Bridgette is distracted talking to DJ and Alejandro during the challenge, so she doesn't really put much effort into her dinosaur. Now the final four all have to vote on which dinosaur they think is the best, and they were put on a lie detector to make sure that they tell the truth. DJ votes for Sierra, because I still think that she builds some sort of broken heart dino with a party hat for Cody. And then DJ thinks it's sweet and emotional, and he likes that kind of thing. Alejandro also votes for Sierra, like the original, because, he did originally, so he would now. Sierra votes for Alejandro, because both Bridgette and DJ's dinosaurs were pretty bad. And Bridgette votes for Sierra, because she likes the artsy style and emotion that it represents. So Sierra wins, and for winning, she gets a digger. And for coming in second, Alejandro gets a pickaxe. For the next part of the challenge, which is finding barrels that are hidden underground. So instead of looking for her barrel, Bridgette decides to just follow DJ around, asking him for the picture that he described of her cheating on Geoff with Duncan. DJ just brushes her off, only really giving one-word responses because, he's really annoyed with her. So Alejandro finds Bridgette trying to explain everything to DJ, and as Alejandro and Bridgette argue, DJ just wanders off because, those two, Alejandro finds these two, and those two start arguing about how she thinks he manipulated him, and then Alejandro is, arguing back, so then DJ doesn't like all this conflict, so just wanders off. And for dramatic effect, I'm going to say that Bridgette gets jammed into the ground by a boulder, like Heather did originally, and then they sing, "This is how we will end it," but instead of Alejandro saving Bridgette because he only saved Heather because he had a crush on her originally, and, he wanted to, go to the end with her for, honor and dramatic effect, I guess. I don't know. But since he doesn't have a crush on Bridgette, he wouldn't save her. Sierra originally won immunity, however, Alejandro was kind of giving up on searching for barrels because, he's tired and he doesn't want to keep going. So he finds Sierra and shows her a picture of Cody and Bridgette snuggling together, and Sierra runs off to go murder Bridgette. Alejandro then has a confessional saying he's always prepared. Meanwhile, Bridgette is able to tell DJ that the only time she's been around Duncan was when her whole team, including DJ, was around. DJ connects the dots and realizes that Alejandro lied to him, so he helps Bridgette out of the little crater hole thing. Bridgette forgives him and they hug it out, but then Sierra jumps in and attacks Bridgette. Woo. I don't know why I said that. Sierra starts yelling at Bridgette for, snuggling with Cody, and then the paper that Alejandro gave to Sierra flies out of Sierra's pocket, and DJ picks it up and realizes that Sierra got tricked the same way as him by Alejandro. So they all run back to the plane, with DJ explaining how the photo was staged to Sierra on the way, on like their little runway thing. But when they all get back to the plane, Alejandro is waiting there with Sierra's barrel, and everyone is expectedly really upset and mad, especially Sierra, because that was her barrel. But there's nothing they can do about it now. So Alejandro has immunity. So now on to the vote. Bridgette and DJ are obviously voting together, and they're voting for Sierra, especially because Bridgette just got mauled by her. Sierra votes for DJ because, she kind of feels bad for, like, almost killing Bridgette and stuff. Plus, she's been bonding with Bridgette, like, the past few episodes. So she votes for DJ, and Alejandro votes for Bridgette. So Sierra is eliminated. She's pretty upset, but quickly runs into the plane and comes back out with a cake for Cody, which ends in the plane blowing up and Sierra losing her hair. So this means she's double eliminated in Chris's books, but to everyone else, she's just eliminated. And with that, we have our final 3, and we also have our final aftermath. Let me just get this aftermath cast up here. Okay. Actually, let me just, Sierra's not there, so... Okay, well, Sierra's not in this aftermath because she wasn't originally. Also, all these people are still here in the aftermath, but, they, I'm not bringing them all up here because that's just going to take forever. Okay. Blanley isn't injured because she didn't fall through that random China person's roof when she was in the game, so her and Geoff are still hosting the aftermath because Bridgette is still in the game. Then they sing Who You Gonna Root For, but with Blanley instead of Bridgette, and then the Peanut Gallery get to vote on who is their favourite finalist. So let me just put them all here. Wait. And there we go. Okay, let me just get them all here. And there we go. Okay, so I lied. I am going to be bringing all these people up because they have to support their finalists. So, supporting Alejandro is... Oh, well, some people are here. Sadie, Katie, Tyler. This is going to take a while, but it's fine. Blanley, Courtney, and Heather. There we go. Okay. Then, supporting DJ is Duncan. I don't really think I have to explain these, it's pretty obvious. Justin, Owen, oh, okay, Eva, and Cody. Okay, and supporting Bridgette is Lindsay, Gwen, Lashana, oh my god, oh, okay, Geoff, Harold, it's going to take a while, Izzy, Beth, Trent, and last but not least, Noah. And as I said before, Sierra isn't supporting anyone because she is no longer in the game. Okay, So originally, you might have noticed that I put Blanley and Geoff here, and originally Bridgette and Geoff didn't support anyone. But I I think they both kind of like Geoff and Blanley kind of both really want to support people. Like Geoff really wants to support Bridgette, so Blanley, she thinks that it's fair if she supports Alejandro. And then yeah, I mentioned Sierra not supporting anyone because she's still in Drumheller. And also Ezekiel is feral, so he's not going to be supporting anyone. Look at him down here all by himself. He's actually like this right now, but we're gonna keep that picture there. Okay. So then, one supporter for each finalist gets to play in a minigame to win something to help out the finalist in the finale. Geoff wants to play for Bridgette, but I don't think he would be allowed to because he, has to, he has to do the aftermath. And there are like a lot of people here who really like Bridgette, so I don't know who would support her, but I went with Harold, because even though they aren't, like, they're pretty close, but like not too close. He seemed to really want to play originally, so I think he plays for Bridgette. Okay. So for Alejandro, Courtney and Heather are both kind of like arguing because they both want to play for him, which results in Heather pushing Courtney down the waterfall and becoming Alejandro's participant. Okay, and then for DJ, I want to say potentially Eva plays for DJ, as Owen and Duncan both didn't really seem to want to play originally. Justin is afraid of messing up his face, and Cody, he has baby arms. So DJ more so cares about, like, making sure Bridgette loses, because for some reason she has a massive grudge against Bridgette and doesn't want her to win. It made literally no sense because Bridgette didn't even do anything to Eva, but whatever. Then the contestants get to choose an animal to represent the spirit of their final three player. Harold picks a dolphin for Bridgette because she's a surfer and she swims with dolphins, and like she's mentioned how much she loves dolphins, and yeah, it's perfect. Eva chooses a deer for DJ because in Island, DJ was kind of like pretending to be a deer in the like pitbull deer hunter challenge, so it's pretty perfect too. And then I think like Courtney, Heather would choose a jaguar for Alejandro because it fits him pretty well. So yeah, then the participants must then put a lei on their chosen animal after they like ride down the waterfall. I don't know how they get a dolphin on land, but somehow they do. It might not be alive anymore, but it's there. Then they sing "I'm Winning This" with the new introductions of Eva and Heather instead of Owen and Courtney. Courtney probably makes a little like cameo in the song though, because she really wants to sing in like every song. She loves singing. Okay. And originally a piece of lava fell into Harold Schwartz, and this caused him to like mess up, and this still happens. And I don't think Heather is, able to get the lei on the jaguar, and Eva could potentially get close enough to scare the deer into putting the lei on around the deer's neck. So DJ wins the first place prize, and Bridgette wins the second place prize. So DJ gets a wheelbarrow to help him in the finale if he makes it, and Bridgette gets a baby carriage if she makes it into the finale, and Alejandro gets nothing. Okay, now we can... I can just remove that, basically. And we can move these guys up to this finale spot. We're just gonna, like, change the color of that because it's kind of awkward if they're both like that. So we'll make it green. Okay, the episode starts with Bridgette and DJ helping Sierra because, she's like dying, so they don't really want her to die. And then the race starts to Hawaii. And since I don't see Sierra like really supporting any of the final three enough to help them in the challenge, like she did with Cody, she just kind of starts walking to Hawaii. So I'm just gonna place her on a team, and I think she's on Bridgette's team because she didn't really have any interactions with DJ, and she hates Alejandro now for convincing her that Cody was cheating on her. Potentially she would support DJ because that's where Cody is. Actually, I could really see that happening. So yeah, I'm actually going to put her on DJ's team because Cody's there, and she doesn't really care who wins. Okay. DJ and Bridget are obviously working together to beat Alejandro, and Alejandro follows the truck with Chris's animals like the original, and DJ and Bridget both find the train track and search for the train like the original. Alejandro's truck then departs on the train, and he finds... Wait, let me just put him down there. Ezekiel! He's back. Let me just bring him up here. Sure, it's taking a while. Okay, Ezekiel, I'll just put him there for now. Okay. And yeah, so Alejandro finds Ezekiel, and he kind of uses him when Bridget and DJ get on the train, and he just releases them on Bridget and DJ, and that causes all three of them to, get into a fight on the train. And Alejandro's probably there too. Ezekiel's probably disappeared at this point because he did originally. Then they sing I'm Gonna Make It, which ends in DJ and Bridget overpowering Alejandro, and they push him off the train, but then he lands on a horse like he did originally, and he starts riding there. Ezekiel then attacks Bridget and DJ because he's still on the train, but instead of fighting him, Bridget is able to talk him down and calm him down, because I don't know when or why or who or what, when, where, why. Don't know any of them. But apparently Ezekiel has a crush on Bridget. And Bridget and DJ both have a way with animals, and that's pretty much what Zeke is now. So then they're able to calm him down and get off the train and see Alejandro in the distance, about to cross the finish line and get on his boat because he's way ahead of them at this point. Knowing that only one of them can make it to the final two, because by the time they actually get to the boats, Alejandro will basically have already crossed the finish line, because by the time they make it to the boats, he's pretty much already crossed the water. DJ offers Bridget a ride on Ezekiel's back to the finish line. She asks him if he's really sure he wants to give up a chance at the million, and he's sure, because Bridget has done so much to get here. She's been supporting him since the start, especially with his animal curse, so now he wants to pay it back to her. So with no time to waste, Bridget jumps on Ezekiel's back and rides him across the finish line, and easily crosses the water because she's really good with surfing and stuff, and she makes it to the final two. I guess I'll just leave Zeke there. And now DJ is out of the game, so his team kind of have to just support someone else. I'm just going to start with putting DJ on Bridget's team, because obviously. Okay. So, Justin, Owen, Cody, Sierra, and DJ, like before, all join Bridget's team, and Duncan and Eva join Alejandro's team. There we go. So there are our final two. Okay, the original finale had a tiebreaker because, Cody and Alejandro tied for second place, but we don't need one here, so we can just skip that whole first little part of the episode. Alejandro's terrified for the finale, as Chris has made it seem a lot like it will be a jury vote, but then he announces that it will be the greatest finale ever, and it's actually announced that it's going to be a challenge. So the first part of the challenge had the final two make dummy sacrifices to throw into the volcano, and they could choose two helpers for this. Bridget would obviously choose Geoff, but I don't think he'd be allowed to help, as he was running the aftermath, and they kind of needed his help there. So she's not allowed to choose Geoff, which makes him sad and her sad, but they understand. So she chooses Lashana and DJ. Because she knows that they're both pretty strong contestants who want Alejandro to lose, and she's really close with both of them. Alejandro chooses Courtney and Heather, and just offers them a small cut of the money if they help him, and yeah, because he knows they're good contestants and good competitors that will help him win if he, if he gives them parts of the money. Then they sing the Versus song, and the only difference is Bridget isn't throwing things at Lashana and DJ because she actually likes them, but Alejandro is purposely throwing things at Courtney, and at some points Heather, but he's trying not to really hurt her because, you know, he likes her. They both end up with pretty good dummies in the end, and Bridgette is also able to use her baby carriage that she won to carry her dummy, while Alejandro gets a 20-second head start as he finishes dummy first. So it puts them at pretty even start. Bridgette is able to carry the dummy faster than Heather did, as she's more athletic, plus she has the baby carriage. So they're both they both make it to like the hopscotch area thing pretty quickly, and Bridgette is trapped in a cage like Heather was originally, but she gets to the top of the cage by just like pushing it over like Heather did originally. And she discovers Alejandro's hatred towards Jose because it was like brought up in the finale when like they were all like Heather was like, no way Jose, and then Alejandro went like crazy over it, so that would probably still happen here. So she uses this to her advantage, and while Alejandro is ranting about how much he hates Jose, Bridgette throws her dummy into the volcano and wins the million. So that's Bridgette's ending. And then in Alejandro's ending, he uses his hatred for Jose as fuel and wrestles Bridgette to the ground before throwing his dummy into the volcano. And they both have winning endings. Okay. So that's the what if. I really feel like this was a good what if. I thought the storyline was amazing and stuff. I definitely think that this probably is my best what if that I've done so far. Bridgette kind of replacing Heather in this, and like Heather and Alejandro's feud works out. And I also like that the furthest one of the previous winners got, like, because, you know, obviously there are previous winners in this, Gwen, Owen, Duncan, Beth, but Beth isn't competing. And the furthest that a previous winner got was Gwen making it to Niagara Brawls, and she got 7th place, I believe. So, you know, like, there's going to be a new winner for a while, and, yeah. Because in the original, Duncan made it to the final 5, even though he was a previous winner, which I thought was kind of bad. They should have just left him out after she quit. That was a perfect word for him to go, but it's fine. I didn't really love DJ and Lindsay, like, getting so far without really doing anything, apart from being comic relief for so long, and then, like, they weren't really doing anything until their like episodes where they got out, where Lindsay was like kind of just being another pawn in female or in male Heather's game. So then she quit, and then DJ like getting tricked into like believing that Bridgette and Duncan were cheating, and then like being so mad that Bridgette convinced him to vote out Duncan for being a cheater when she was also cheating with him and stuff. So he had that arc for like 2 or 3 episodes, but he wasn't really doing anything for a while, which is a little bit disappointing. And they both did get really far, but it's fine, I guess. I also think Sierra coming back kind of worked because she was a new character who got eliminated kind of early on, but then came back and got more development overall. So I think that was pretty good. So yeah, overall, I think this season worked pretty well. And if this video does do well, and I know that part 1 did pretty well, it's like my most popular video by a landslide, I'd be down to continue this to All-Stars. Also, I forgot to mention that Zeke takes the money at the end, but that was pretty obvious, I thought, because, you know, he is a feral man. I'd also like to thank, I forgot the name, I think it's Me Name's Jim Bob, amazing name, for suggesting this what if a while back. It's been on my list for a while, I just haven't really gotten around to doing it, so now I've done it. And I really like how this turned out. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, that's really it. Bye.